Among the world's youngest countries with over 600 million people below the age of 35 years, the country can boast of a readily available workforce that the more prosperous and developed countries of the West cannot. Yet, India's biggest asset is Prime Minister Modi's most pressing and vexatious challenge. As part of our series, 3 years of NDA government, CNBC TV 18 assesses this government's performance when it comes to creating jobs.
पूरे विश्व में करोड़ों करोड़ों की तादाद में वर्कफोर्स की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी और अगले दशक में हमारे पास 4-4.5 करोड़ के करीब लोग सरप्लस होंगे वर्कफोर्स हमारे पास। अगर हम ये मिसमैच को दूर करते हैं, हम आवश्यकता के अनुसार उसको तैयार करते हैं, तो हमारे नौजवानों को रोजगार के लिए अवसर मिलेगा।
Manufacturing is where jobs are. And manufacturing is an area where we have still to grow and grow at a much faster pace.
No government in recent memory has stressed as much on job creation as Prime Minister Narendra Modi's. And this is not surprising. After all, job creation and poverty alleviation go hand in hand. And that's a battle that is social, economic and political. The challenge is daunting. Estimates say that nearly 1 million people above the age of 15 are joining the workforce every month, meaning India has to create at least 12 million additional jobs every year. Acknowledging the challenge, the Modi dispensation swung into action with some key policy announcements. The first step came in December 2014, when it set up a new ministry dedicated to skill development. Here the government aims to skill over 40 crore people. Second, it also set up a national career service web portal to bring job seekers and employers onto the same page. And it also mustered the political courage to streamline labor laws and create a new code. Despite these efforts, employment in the organized sector continues to worry. According to Labour Bureau data that tracks 8 industrial sectors, India created 4.21 lakh jobs in 2014, 1.35 lakh jobs in 2015, and around 2.5 lakh jobs in 2016. But it is important to note here that the data for the first 3 months of 2016 are not available since the Labour Bureau moved to a new series from April. Realizing the need to create more jobs, the Modi government has now taken a crucial step.
So today, every cabinet note which goes for approval by cabinet, this component of what implication it has on employment is mandatory. All of us have been told that, and therefore every one of us is looking at it.
But here's a surprise. A recent analysis by industry body CII contradicts disappointing data from the Labour Ministry. Tabulating numbers from the National Sample Survey and the unorganized sector, the industry chamber says that India has actually added 3.7 million jobs every year for the past 4 years.
There are 400 million jobs, currently in India. Out of that, the organized sector is 22 point something million. So it's minuscule. And every year we add 3.7 million jobs. So when people turn around and say India needs 1 million jobs a year, I think that they're not looking at what they must understand is that there are a million people per month that get to the age of 15 that could work, when many of them don't want to work.
This has exposed a few loopholes in the calculation of jobs data, and to plug them, the government has now set up a task force headed by Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Arvind Panagaria. But experts warn that while the risks for creating blue-collar jobs are high, white-collar jobs could also get scarce.
It is very clear that a lot of the jobs of the past are going to be displaced by AI. So people are genuinely thinking about what does it mean to reskill people.
Just last week, a NASSCOM McKinsey report said that while the IT industry created 3 million jobs on a turnover of $100 billion, going forward, far fewer jobs, that is anywhere between 1.2 and 2 million, will be needed to create the next $100 billion in revenues. The report also warned that 30% of the jobs would become irrelevant in 3 years' time. Well, clearly it's an uphill task for the Modi government, especially in the context of what's happening in the last few years, where employment elasticity or the correlation between economic growth and its impact on jobs has been coming down. Experts further warn that with the rise of protectionist voices around the world, it could further dampen government's flagship programs like Make in India, Skill India, or in want of a better phrase, Employ India. In New Delhi, Ranajay Banerjee.